It looks like we're about to jump off into another collaboration in Raid Shadow Legends, and I've got a couple of things to go over with you today. First and foremost, we're going to be talking about a brand new promo code that everybody can get for absolutely free that's going to give us some juicy rewards. I'll even do it live on my account. And secondly, we're looking at the brand new legendary event, an upcoming potential event for Raid Shadow Legends. Let's do this, baby. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen of the tribe, to another Raid Shadow Legends video with me, your bald boy Scribe. I hope you guys are doing absolutely phenomenal, because who, in reality, let's face it, doesn't like free stuff? So if you head over to your promo code discount section over here, you go to those promo codes and enter in the code Dorothy, we will notice that, booyah, we get ourselves some absolutely free stuff. And free stuff is my favorite kind of thing. So let's go ahead and see what we actually get. This promo code is giving us 1 silver chest. Give me the good stuff. Oh wow, actually gave him some brews as well. That's, when I saw silver chest, I assumed silver, but no, it gave me a decent amount of brews. Next up, we get a free 4-star chicken, and honestly, the amount of things that you need to rank up in this game, I will take every free chicken that I can get. And of course, some additional energy that I'm just going to leave in there. I've got 6 days to claim that. Let's go ahead and claim some of this other free stuff that I've just got sitting in my account. Wonderful. Great. Okay, super, smashing, terrific. Before we go any further though, ladies and gentlemen of the tribe, shall we talk a little bit about what brand new players to Raid Shadow Legends can get with my monthly QR code / download link, because I really do think that this one is kind of great. First of all, make sure you sign out of your Plarium Play account. Use my QR code or click the link in the description and sign up with a brand new email account. Brand new accounts that are playing Raid Shadow Legends with my QR code will gain access to the legendary defensive unit Staltus Dragonbane for absolutely free once they have passed the prologue of the game. You will find this guy just sitting neatly inside of your inventory box as soon as you've done that introduction battle, and you will be able to get additional legendary or epic units as you progress through the game. Every single 10 levels of your account, you'll be getting some additional units, so let's talk about those. Once you hit level 10, you'll unlock the epic support unit Stagnite. This guy is absolutely dope. Completely viable in every single game mode. In particular, I like the fact that his A1 over here, or his A2 rather, attacks all enemies, 70% chance of placing a 60% decreased defense debuff, as well as a 50% decreased attack debuff for 2 turns. This thing over here is a great AoE ability. It will keep you in the game in many of those longer battles, particularly clan bosses and high level dungeons. This guy is super valuable for anybody looking to progress in the game. Not only that, once you've hit level 20, ladies and gentlemen, you'll be getting your next epic unit, and that is going to be the support type Ugo. Ugo over here is a support type that will grant you lots of survivability in terms of heals as well as revives. This over here, removing the heal reduction debuff, but more importantly, if all your allies are dead, it revives all of them with 50% of their hit points and fills their turn meter by 50%. If you pair that with his unique or passive ability over here, Final Spite, he is able, by giving himself a block damage buff as well as an increased speed buff if he is the last living ally. So it kind of pairs well with that A3. He'll be able to make it so that he's the last person surviving, he'll keep himself alive, and then he'll be able to revive all of his allies. It's a really good setup there. And once your account hits level 30, you will be gaining access to Farrakhan the Fat, a wonderful bald individual attacker type unit that will give you lots of access to very valuable abilities such as HP burn, as well as being viable in pretty much every game mode. Farrakhan is a great unit to have in your account. But the fun doesn't stop there, ladies and gentlemen. We already spoke a little bit about a promo code earlier today in this video, but there is another one that I would recommend everybody use over here, and that will be Super Victory. That's one word, Super Victory. That will give you access to Pelops the Goat. No, it's not Pelops the Goat, it's Pelops the Victor. But this guy over here is an absolutely phenomenal tank. Not only that, gives you access to taunts as well as HP burns on a passive 100%, also gives you access to petrification and attack down. He is a really valuable legendary unit that you can get straight away as you start playing this game, and alongside other units like Farrakhan the Fat, or even if you throw him with Ugo, or if you throw him with Staltus, you will be able to go through things like the campaign with 0 difficulties, and he'll be really useful in dungeons such as the Spider, okay, because those burns really do help take down the Spider. I was able to clear all the way up through 25 5 with my wonderful little boy, Pelops the Great. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, should we talk just a little bit about the upcoming event that's coming to Raid Shadow Legends, as well as a new legendary unit? So we had this promo video shown from Raid, I think it was last week, that was hinting towards a brand new event that's coming to the game. Obviously has some influence with the Wizard of Oz. You can see the gold monkey on the staff over there, and this is clearly a witch. Echoes of Oz is supposedly the upcoming event. We don't know when it's arriving, when it's dropping, nothing like that, but we have had a kit reveal for a brand new unit, which we just saw there. And that will be this following Void support legendary unit, Ozilda the Wicked. Now, I'm not super entrenched in my Wizard of Oz lore. I don't know if this was from a sequel. Not sure. But clearly we can already see the art style very feeling raidy, looking really good. As always, the character models are just kind of top notch in this game. Generally speaking, it's one of the things that I think is a standout of the game. Now let's take a look through and read her abilities. Starting off with her A1, Enfeebling Curse. Attacks all enemies, 40% chance of placing a block active skills debuff for 1 turn, and a 100% chance against targets who are either feared or under true fear debuffs. If you book this character up, you gain a little bit more damage, and you change that debuff chance from 40% to 60%. Having block active skills on a basic or an A1 is actually incredibly powerful, and it's 100% if they are feared or true feared. Okay, so let's check out A2. You Can't Escape Me, a cooldown of 5. Removes all buffs from all enemies. I do love an AoE dispel. This helps you get around a load of really irritating buffs. Steal 30% of each enemy's turn meter if they're under fear or true fear debuffs. 75% chance of placing a 60% decreased defense debuff and a 100% ensnare debuff on all enemies for 2 turns. And if you book this up to the maximum, you're going to increase that debuff chance by an additional 25%, so it's going to guarantee that decreased defense, and you're going to lower the cooldowns from 5 to 3. A 3-turn cooldown AoE turn meter strip that, can place decreased defense and ensnare seems relatively powerful, I would say. Next up, we've got the A3, Lambs to the Slaughter. Now, as a Welshman, I of course do very much appreciate lambs, and I think they are the most delicious things in all creation, so therefore I have to support this ability. Attack all enemies, place a Master Seal debuff on the initial target for 2 turns. Also has a 30% chance of placing a Sheep debuff on all enemies for 1 turn. 30% chance on all enemies? All other enemies, so not the primary target. Everybody else can have as a 30% chance of becoming sheeped, which is, again, I support this as a Welshman. Places a block passive skills debuff for 2 turns instead if the 30% chance does not activate. Okay, that's interesting. So if you don't land a sheep, you're going to get block passive skills, which might be a little bit more niche, but still kind of a useful thing to have. Probably not as useful as sheep, but I'll still take it. 6-turn cooldown is pretty huge, but if you book it, you'll increase the damage, and you can reduce that cooldown to a cooldown of 4, which is a lot more palatable. So far, what are we looking at? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 books. 8 legendary books to max out Ozilda's abilities over here. Now, finally, she has a passive ability over here called Beyond Deranged, which is a suitable level of chaotic energy, I guess, for a character from the Wizard of Oz. This champion is immune to Sheep, Fear, True Fear, Ensnare, Block Active Skills, Seal, Master Seal, and Block Passive Skills debuff. Basically, immune to everything that she does. So for mirror matches, Ozilda is going to counter Ozilda, which is absolutely right. Okay, that is a lot of blanket debuff immunity. Sheep is really annoying, Fear is annoying, so is True Fear and Ensnare. Block Active Skills, very, very annoying. Seal, Master Seal, and Block Passive Skills. Cool. Okay, whenever an enemy receives a buff, there is a 50% chance of placing a True Fear debuff on that enemy for 1 turn. That's kind of powerful. This is why she's immune to block passives, because that passive is going to trigger all the time. Whenever they receive a buff, 50% chance of putting True Fear on them. It ignores block debuffs buffs. So even if they are immune to debuffs with the block debuffs buff, this thing will still trigger. This effect can only activate once per skill and once per target. Is that in the entire battle? If there are multiple champions on the team with a skill, only one will activate. Yada yada yada, doesn't activate on copies. That's all pretty standard nomenclature when it comes to raid kits. This champion will have, and their allies deal 20% more damage against enemies under fear or true fear debuffs. If there are multiple champions on the team with a skill, only one will activate. So it's going to be spreading quite a bit of fear. I'm not sure. It says once per target per turn, but I don't know if that means for the entire battle. Only activate once per skill and once per target. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if that means in an entire battle this can only trigger once. I'd like to think it can trigger constantly throughout battle, but maybe it is only once. Obviously, that's going to have synergy with the rest of her kit. Her A1 has a 100% chance if they are under fear or true fear. The A2 steals turn meter if they're under fear or true fear, so it does kind of synergize. Finally, she does have an aura over here. You can't quite see it. Her aura is accuracy in all battles by 70. Accuracy is okay, I guess. I mean, generally speaking, I only really look for a couple of things when it comes to auras. Usually it's speed, because speed is generally king in any sort of turn-based combat system like Raid Shadow Legends. Doesn't mean other stats and other bonuses for auras don't have any value, but it just means this one maybe not quite as important. So yeah, oftentimes I'll look at percentage health, or maybe even very rarely I look at percentage offense, maybe even resistance. Accuracy is not generally something that I look to. Usually that is sort of handled by when we've got additional equipment going onto the characters. Build them up for a lot of, accuracy, generally speaking. But hey, maybe there will be some use to this aura in one area of the game or another. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to about do it for today's video. Do not forget to use that code, the promo code Dorothy, just to get yourself some free extra juicy business. And remember, ladies and gentlemen of the tribe, brand new players that sign up with my QR code will get access to possibly the best start in the game with legends like Steltus Dragonbane and getting epic characters such as Stag Knight, Ugo, and of course the wonderful Farrakhan the Fat. Don't forget the promo code Super Victory for Pelops the Victor. I will see you all in the very next video. Peace out and big love, y'all.